today, but I had a great time with my beautician and all. You're going to need 2 cups of milk and take the chill off of it. You want it warm enough because I'm going to be making 2 things today. I am starting some bread, which is going to be wheat bread that I'm making. It has cheese and carrots in it. I'm also going to be making some muffins that has almond milk, it has peanuts in it, and it has bananas in it. So I've got 2 things, and then a little later, probably when I'm on this part 2 of this bread making, I am going to be making shrimps and spaghetti. Well, I should say shrimp spaghetti. All right, you're going to need a mixing bowl to do this. Now, I've had a lot of mixing bowls, so I have to be honest with you. The best one that I enjoy working with, it really gets the job done. I have made butter with it. I've done whipped cream with it. I have beaten breads with it. I have done a lot of things with this mixer, but you don't see me doing it because you haven't seen everything that I do. Is a KitchenAid. They work great. Okay, they're like a workhorse, and they're built just like the ones you see in the restaurants. If you could get into the bakery, you would see these. They're huge. They sit on the floor. They're just gigantic. Okay, where did I put everything? Two packets of these. New and improved. They love when they say new and improved. That's usually the biggest lie they can give you. They're just trying to make it easier for women who can't bake to make them feel like they know how they're baking. It doesn't work. I just saw something I didn't believe I saw on television. I was looking at my news feed, cleaning up my phone for the day, Well, I should say for a couple hours because I work on this phone a lot, doing recipes and stuff for you guys. And if I have time, if I even have time during the day, I'll go and check my mail, see what's on and all. And what came across my news feed was this man was talking. And I'm sure he's right about it. He said men are not concerned, which I agree, fake eyelashes, the makeup, and everything that you put on. One guy said if he always sees a woman in makeup and he takes her home and marries her and she takes it all off and she doesn't look like what he bought. I love the way he put the phrase. He said, can I return it? Oh my goodness. The things that are going on today are unbelievable. Then they said that was 2 packages of yeast and 2 cups of warm milk. We're going to add 3 tablespoons of honey. We're going to let this sit a few minutes. So this yeast is really going to get up and go. He was saying that men look for younger. They want to look for younger women. They look at younger women. They go for younger women. And I fell out laughing. I said, if that was true, you explain to me why I have younger men coming after me, because I am an old girl. So why would somebody want me? And I put it out there to myself. Now, he might like younger women. But the younger women have such an attitude. Okay, this has got to sit just a bit. I'm just going to stir it a bit. Just get it started. Good morning, baby. Snapshot and Rolly. Okay, we have to let that set. We're going to wait for that. So while this is doing, I'm going to move this to the side. Now, what do I need here? How much? Okay. going to be adding carrots to this. Yeah, that's why men aren't looking at them. They might want to find a young one and hope that, you know, she knows how to be a woman instead of a brute and everything else, but it's not going to happen. I mean, somebody wrote and said that the Congress cannot undo an amendment or something. I said, oh, yes, they can. They can take it away, or they can sit there and amend it and make it harder or clarify. So you can't say, no, they can't. Yes, they can. They write the laws, they undo the laws. I'm so glad I grew up the time I did. I didn't have all this going on. I mean, did you hear what the Muslims said? New York State is a Muslim state. Well, that is a declaration of war on the United States. So, I think now at this point, the government can come in and take care of them. We need, how much of this do we need? Because I've never made this recipe. 1.5 cups of shredded carrots. I don't know if this is going to give me 1.5 cups, but we'll find out. So now that they declared war on the United States, and they come into New York City, ICE and stuff, if you want to kill them, I will have no problem accepting it. And don't come crying to me to come help you, unless you're an ICE agent. And you know, I told my son to start a second bag of vegetables. I don't think he started another bag. This bag's getting full. So when ICE comes, if they start shooting them, since they declared war on the United States, at this point, as far as I'm concerned, I'll just get out of the way and let ICE do what they have to do. Because when you come to this country, you're supposed to be assimilated into this country. In other words, you're supposed to be a Christian. You take on our ways. You defend the country. You do a lot of things to be. But you don't come in here, take your crappy little religion and your crappy ways and come here and say, you are going to change our country. Hi, Richie. Hot wangy? Okay. Hi, Graham. Good morning. So we're going to grate these. If it's not enough, I'll get more carrots. I just don't know. But that gives the yeast time to do what it has to do. You should see it. It should, if you did everything like I did, you will see that it's starting to foam up, which means it's alive. Yeah, Vivi, send them back. And for the Americans who want to stand with them, by all means, go with them back to the country. And you transgenders and stuff, you won't even get off, you'll barely get off the plane and they'll chop your head off because they love to cut the heads off. You know, in the Bible, they do state they do that. Have any of you seen Citizen Vigilante? I could see it happening here. I can see it very easily. If the government doesn't get them out of the country, the American people are going to take it on. And the American people are not going to condemn the vigilantes. they are going to protect them. Well, I hope you know what the word gay means. It means in a state of being of happy. You don't see gay people happy, so it's evident they're not gay. I might have it. Oh no. Yeah, I think I have it. Well, I'm a little shy. Let me get another one. I spin around a lot too, trying to find everything. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. It'll be a time when people will take it into the... And when they do... Let's see. That's a cup. Oh, we'll use half of that. That's I think about this before I should do it. And my beautician agreed with me. Public hangings should come back because the young people don't seem to understand anything. Public hangings. When you commit a crime, let the people see what the repercussions are. No, you don't go to jail for so many years and you come out and you're back in society. Oh, when you think you can vote. No, the best thing to do is for us just to go back and go back to public hangings. The courthouse is where they used to hang them. Hang them high. You know, the movie Hang 'em High. Well, that's what they used to do. Take them in the courthouse and hang them up on top, and you could see the body hanging up there. Sometimes you have to do drastic things to get people into line. But right now, we're at war in our own country. So, anyway, I hope all of you see that movie, Vigilante, Citizen Vigilante. It doesn't like you would expect a movie to end, which was interesting. I didn't think it was going. I didn't know how it was going to end. I saw it unfolding with a woman, him in the hospital, asking a question. Yeah, that just about does it. Okay. We got that done. And I'll show you the yeast is active and alive. I I could have made this sourdough, but I said I'll go ahead and make it this way this time. This regular recipe. So you can see what it looks like. Okay, now take a look. This is what it looks like, but the yeast is active. It's foaming. It's got bubbles on it. That's why I put the honey in it, because it loves sugar. You know, you can sit there and use a little bit of sugar. If you're making a bread and it says let the yeast with water sit till, you know, it's active. Or what do they say, foamy? I don't even know anymore. Yeah, they say foamy. If you don't want to do that, just put a pinch of sugar in it and you'll find out how alive it is in a hurry. All right, we're going to add the carrots into this. That's it, Sandra. Throw it on the counter. Have you facing the side that's open. Okay. We're just going to add practically everything in here. Now you can use cottage cheese or ricotta cheese. I'm using ricotta cheese in this. I told you this is a little different. Okay, you want a half a cup? Yeah, I'll pack a half a cup. Now you're gonna, if you have cottage cheese, go ahead and use it. But I'm using ricotta because this is what I have and I don't want to make any cheese. I've got other stuff I have to do today. That's a half a cup. You want the butter melted? No? Okay. I have to count this out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it 4 you want? No. The weather is so cool. I can't believe how comfortable I am. You sure you don't want this melted before I do this? Okay. I'm just going to put pieces of butter in here. We'll work it in as we need, and it beats it down. So let me know if you see Citizen Vigilante. It was banned in Germany. Probably saying she can't do that. Yeah, I can. I'm cooking for my family, not yours. We need 1½ teaspoons of salt. That's got honey on it, so I've got to be careful. So let's just use this one. It's not touching anything with honey in it. I think I'm going to have to make some more salt mixture. Let's see, did I get everything? I got the salt, the honey, the butter, ricotta cheese, the carrots, the milk, and the yeast. Okay, they want us to mix this. We're going to be slowly doing it. The movie sat there and actually was letting you know. I think it was more of just giving an idea. People get up and do this, the police will go after the vigilante. that they are allowing the criminals to be. It took care of a judge that's allowing the criminals and not protecting the American people. The laws are to protect the American people, not them. And that's, you know, a lot came through that aspect, which is true. We have judges that have illegals or people that are violent, and they're letting them go and saying they're there. And these are Democratic judges. They're letting them go. And the American people are so stupid. They don't realize what's going on. I did not vote for that idiot. And the only reason he got in office was a lot of people didn't go out and vote Republican, find somebody other than them. So the guys here, so what do? They get up and leave. They say, well, I'm leaving New York City, I'm taking my money, I'm taking my businesses, and I'm leaving. That is not helping the circumstances at all. Mixed grill? Okay. Okay, now what? I got done seeing that movie Vigilante. I agree. The damn police are not going to do it, or the government won't allow the police. I think the American people should get up and do what they have to do. They don't care. And women, stay out of it. The men have to do what they have to do to protect our country. Just shut your mouth and just let the men do what they have to do. You can call me old-fashioned all you want. But at least I wasn't trained in communism. I wasn't having my children taught communism. I was raised to be an American and everything else, knowing my rights and all. Learning them as I grew up, and knew that they did not apply until I became an adult. My parents had carried me over and had the structure of the family and everything else. Now we're going to move to bread flour now. How much bread flour do I need to add at a time? These things don't fit in these jars. Most of the time, my beautician and I are not into politics. There's so much going on. She and I usually talk about other things, but this time we're talking politics. Now we're going to continue doing this until we get a stiff dough. That's why we're using the mixer, because this is going to be a stiff dough. back, Sarah. But men have to do what they have to do and get rid of these people in our country. I think I have made it a long time ago. But thank you for the Dogecoin, and thank you all for the gifts I see that are coming up. No, the men have to do what they have to do. And they have to fight to get the Fed. And by the way, remember, men are the ones that allowed you, the right women, to vote. They can take that right away from you. And you say, no, they can't. Oh, yes, they can. You like a socialist country? They'll take your rights away like that. And you'll be wearing burqas. You won't be wearing a bikini. You won't be able to wear pants. You won't be able to smile at somebody. Your whole face will be covered except your eyes. And you said, no, they won't do that to me. Oh, yes, they will. They will use you. They're like spies. You better think about that. I go to the store, and I see them in the store, and you ought to see. Their men look at me, and they just smile, and I just give them a flat look. The women, he herds her around like she's cattle with the children. She can't go and look at something unless he works. And this isn't my store that I go shopping at. I see this. I'm not talking about something I haven't seen. He herds her like she's cattle. He's only missing a prong. That's all. He puts his hands on her waist and says, over here, over here. And if you're cleaning your sidewalk or something, they don't care. They want you to move for them. They have no social amenities. And the man does all the speaking. She can't say anything. She is quiet as a mouse. And when their children come on the bus, quiet. They don't say zip. Ooh, a 4 cups of flour. You want me to need this? You're going to need more flour than that. Somebody miswrote this recipe. See, a basic recipe for flour, for bread, is 3 cups of flour to 1 cup of water. That's the basic, just basic, very basic. You know, this is 4 cups. You think this is going to be a dough? With 2 cups of liquid in here? We got 2 more cups we're going to have to add. I know that. Right. That didn't work, did it? No, that's all right. It's just another mess between them. But my husband and I, when they started bringing in foreign teachers, because women left the school system, American teachers, they didn't have enough teachers to cover for the children, they started taking them from other countries. This is why we have a problem with our young people today, because they don't know how it feels to be an American. They don't understand us. But a person who's born and raised knows exactly. And people say the rules were so strict then. You know something? That's why you're alive today and you have a country. It was because those rules were in place and men did what they had to do. So if the men love this country, they're going to have to do what they have to do and get these people out. I think, I expect men to stand up, not for these people, but to stand up for the women and children of this country. As you can see, that movie really hit home with me. Ooh, I'm making a mess. We're going to have to knead this. We're going to need more flour. This recipe was written wrong. You cannot use 4 cups of flour and expect. It's just not going to work. I know my ratios. See how tacky this is? And they want you to knead it. You can't. It's not going to be, it needs more flour. And that's not a stiff loaf either. That's with the elastic, yeah, after you add more flour, yeah, it'll get there. I'll show you in a minute. Alright, let's see if I can I'm going to bring you down. I think that's the only way I can do it, but you can see what I'm doing. No, women will not allow you to give them the respect of being a woman. And the only way this is going to happen is you put women back in their place. You really have to. My sons and I were talking about how women make a ton of excuses not to cook. I can't do that. I'm too tired. I'm this or something. The reason she's like that is because she doesn't want to do her job. And now she doesn't even want to give children, so as the people die, there's going to be nobody to replace or defend this country. So you think about that as you kill these babies off. And these women who have only fan clubs, they don't have a father. If they had a father and he found out she was doing that, believe you me, I doubt seriously she would be able to sit down. If you saw Outlander and how Jamie whipped his wife, those girls would be like her, not be able to sit down. When I grew up, if you committed a crime, you were not allowed to vote. You lost your rights to vote. And women said, oh, that's so unfair. They've paid their price. No, they haven't. If somebody sits there and plays with fire and get burnt, and they have an ugly scar on their body, you can't go back and undo it. They have to live with it. So you commit a crime, you lose your rights to vote, and you don't have a right to come back 100%. You don't have a right to vote or hold office or anything else. And if you're in the government and you commit treason, this is my time, you got shot. You didn't lose your job and keep the pension and the money and stuff you stole. You were put for a firing squad and you were shot. The men knew what they had to do to protect this country and everything else. Women sit there and say, you can commit crime, but you do it in that neighborhood, not my neighborhood. But I'll let you go to do what you want in your neighborhood, but don't come into my neighborhood. They want illegals in, and if you're a Democrat and you say, yes, let the illegals stay, but not in my home, she'll say, not in my home, you can go put them in another neighborhood and stuff, but don't you put them here. But they're robbing us. I don't have tea and sympathy. Like I said, you come in this country, you break the laws, you hurt people, you should lose your rights to vote. You should go to jail. If you've committed treason, you should be shot. If you kill and do crimes, we should have public hangings. And this should not on a video. No, you go out there and you see the crap. Then you know, young people, young men, should all be drafted. Every last one of them. Don't scream, I'm a conscientious objection. No. And another thing, when you go into the military, in my lifetime, they said 10% of you, I'm allowed 10% casualties. That means 10 of you motherfuckers can die by your own hand. If you don't listen, you die just as point blank, you know. And I don't think we should be training people in other countries in our military and giving our secrets away. They should be training their own. We should not be selling weapons overseas to them. Let them kill themselves if they wish. You don't go to swords and knives and have it out in the battlefield and hack each other up. If they're content to do that, you go right ahead. A lot of people say, I don't like what you're saying. Well, that was life not long ago. This feels like a very light bread, and they want me to put this in an 8x7. Oh, shoot. Yeah, I know. I have something to compare it to. The young people don't. That's the problem. But when those men said that men want young women, I said, well, I'm 73. Why are the young coming in my direction? I can't give them children. I can't give them anything. I am talking how I feel about a movie I saw and what I see in my country and what the mayor of New York said. And about how things were and how we have to take them back. We have to go backwards to get this country back on track. That's what it's about. While they're learning about making bread, talking of things that have affected me, things I have seen. If you like it or not. If you don't like it, please leave. Just as simple as that. This is my channel. I can talk about things I want. But if you've been watching it, I've given you all the ingredients. And you can see how you need bread and how we're getting this bread together. I'm not going to waste this. I might as well put it in here too. This bread. Okay, I'm glad to see that. Hot, wangy. Yeah, you're right, Sarah. They have to be home. There are soldiers. And you know, if you get rid of them, we have a lot of people on welfare. They would then be able to have jobs and they could go to work, and then we wouldn't have a welfare system to the mass amounts that we have. And they'd be jobs. And young people would learn their place, that they can shut their mouths and grow up. And they don't have a right to run to BCW because mommy doesn't buy me a console so I can play my games, or daddy broke my television because I wouldn't clean my room or something. Wait a minute, wait, what? Hot Wang? Listen, it's a southern thing. Let me tell you something. I had been on my hands and knees waxing the floor. I scrubbed it, I stripped it, I waxed it. And my sons had been out with my husband. Now, I made sure in front of the walkway to get into the kitchen, the doorway, I put 2 chairs stacked on top to make sure until that wax dried, I didn't want anybody in that kitchen. And one of my sons came in. They came in with stuff, and he undid every chair that I had set in front of the walkway, because I knew one of them was going to go in there. He marched in with his dirty shoes. I just waxed. I spent hours cleaning that floor. And I came out of the bedroom, and he said, "Mommy, look." Yeah, I looked. I had a dirty floor, wet wax, and I had to get back down there. And you know what? I screamed. I said, "What? Did you see those chairs there?" He said, "Yes." But he wanted to go in the kitchen. I said, and he tried to give me an excuse. I put my hand up. This is exactly what I told him. "I don't want to hear shit from you, boy." In a nice southern phrase. Because that's how we were taught. I mean, if I did something like that, my mother would say, "I don't want to hear shit from you girls." It's not putting a boy down. That's when a southern woman is really pissed. And she doesn't want to hear from you because you're not using logic, so she'll just sit there and call you a boy. I don't want to hear shit from you, boy. You have absolutely nothing to say at that point to defend yourself. And he went to his father. His father said, "How do you feel?" My husband told me later, and I started laughing. I was so mad I had to go back in that kitchen and start all over again. It was a hot day. I knew the wax would dry in a hurry. Well, anyway, I had to redo the whole floor. I was not happy. And my husband asked him, I said, "Well, how'd you feel when your mother said that?" He said, "Daddy, I felt like a nigger and I had to go pick cotton." Oh my God. My husband told me that. I started laughing. I said, "No, that's an angry mother. That is an angry southern mother when she sits there and says that. Then you can't say anything at that point because her temper is already over the line. You're lucky she doesn't kill you at that point." Yeah. Yeah. So you're taking a phrase from the South and you're not really putting it in context of what it is. But that's the Southern. When they say that, they don't want to hear shit from you, be it boy or girl. You know you have hit an anger point. Your mother's boiling. Just get out of the way at that point before she kills you, you know? Oh my God. It was the only time I ever said it, but I mean, it was 100 and something. I had to clean that whole floor. I had a scrub brush. I was scrubbing. I really cleaned the floor nice. I put a nice wax coat on. I was so proud of myself. So I just went into the bedroom. I said, "I'm going to just sit in front of the fan and cool off. That'll be dry in about a half hour to an hour, and then I'll go in there and start dinner." And I didn't pay any mind that the chair, well, I had the fan blowing on me, so I wasn't going to hear anything anyway. And when I came out thinking the floor was dry and he was in there, and my floor, I couldn't think of another nice thing. I couldn't say, there, would you please get off the floor? No, I was not going to be there. uh, so, it was funny. When he said that, that I felt like I had to go pick up. I laughed. I had so many tears in my eyes when he said that. And I never said it again. And what was worse is we had just seen in the heat of the night before, with Sidney Poitier, the movie. Yeah, I know that look. Yeah, you need strong parents with a heavy hand with the belt and punishment for you to grow up to be a good citizen of the United States, not a wimp. And I remember when Dr. Oz, was it, that came out and said, oh, you can't spank your children. You can't do this. And we heard it, and my mother said, don't think it. We all zipped up. We knew exactly what she was saying. Don't think it. I'll beat the crap out of you anyway, or I'll kill you, Oh, okay. But anyway, yeah, like I clean the toilet. I don't like doing that either, but it's got to be done, you know. That's why I say a woman's job is really, if you want to say, we really have a shitty job. You think about it. You change diapers, right? If your husband gets sick, really sick like mine, you have to clean his backside. You get pets. You have to clean up after them. And then after cleaning all that up, if you have cats indoor, if you live in the city because you don't want to put them outside because you're in an apartment, you have to clean the cat litter. Then you go and have to clean the toilet. And if they vomit and spit up, be it your husband, be it your children or the babies, you clean that up. We have a really shitty job when you think about it. Maybe that's why they buy us all these nice things, because they say she really does have a dirty job she has to do. Oh my God. See, I can make fun of it. I got to go clean the bathroom again. I know. We had 90-degree days, and I said, I'm not going in there. 100-degree day, I'm not going in there. I'll clean it. Today is cool. But I make jokes about it. I mean, we even clean up the dirty dishes. We have to, well, I don't think in the South they're doing this yet, but up here we have to sort the trash. So I'm a trash picker as well now at this point. I go through the waste baskets in the house, and then I have to go out and make sure that I put the stuff in the black bag that goes in the black trash can, a clear bag into the brown bag, clear bag into the green one, and a clear bag into the blue one. And then go through the trash to make sure that the bottles and stuff belong in their container, and then also that the paper goes into this one, and then the food scraps go into here. Where does the vomit go? Yeah, no, I have to think about all this. Yeah. Yeah, well, the Bible spoke of it. It said, spare the rod, spoil the child, and that's exactly what we got. No, I don't. I don't like air conditioning that much, really. I really don't. I don't like the really hot weather either. If it goes on for a long time, really hot, I'll sit there and turn the air conditioning on. I have portables just for the bedroom, but then the cats get really upset and they scream and carry on. But I have fans, and I'm more comfortable with the fans. And when it's hot, I know that I just get quiet, And because I have a potassium problem, I'll mix prune juice and molasses together and make a drink out of it, a cold drink, and I have that on those hot days, which keeps my potassium up, so I don't have to worry about overheating too much. Yeah, so I don't have many hot days. I thought we were going to have hot days after all the firecrackers. God, there wasn't. You know, we've got cool 70-degree weather, 80-degree weather. I can handle that. When it hits those hundreds is when it really, really gets me. But when it starts going in the 90s, you don't see me. If you see me, you only see me early in the morning, and that's it. Not at night or anything. I just stay quiet. No, and good morning, Misty. Hi, Wolf. This is wheat bread. As soon as I get done kneading this and putting this to rise, I'm going to be walking right into making some muffins for us to snack on. And then a little later in the morning, I'm going to sit there and make spaghetti with shrimps. Just being different, that's all. And sometimes when we're going to have a really hot spell and I know it's coming, I'll make like 6 to 10 pounds of antipasta and make the French bread to go with it. If I don't have time to make the French bread, I'll buy bread. And we'll have that, and we can eat that. That's pure protein, so I don't have to worry. And I'll keep fruit around, and they can eat that, and that's what we'll live off. It's not really shrimp scampi. I have a basic tomato sauce. I'm going to make it a little spicy with heat and put shrimps in it. And then I'm going to make the pasta. Oh, God. I'm still kneading this bread. Yeah. So, you know. I like spring and autumn. I love those seasons. In the winter, you might be lucky if you see me at the store. I'll stay indoors, thank you. And I do my food and canning and stuff. If I have to go to the store, I'll go to the store. But I stay inside. I get a lot of crafting done during the winter because there's not much I can do. All right. You're going to tell me this is a heavy loaf. This is not going to be a heavy loaf. I'm not adding any more flour. I've already added almost 2 cups more than they wanted. So I'm just going to knead this out a bit more. And I'll put it in a bowl, greased bowl. And we'll move forward. Now this bread's going to take about, they say, 2 hours to rise. You know, it's all the whippings that I've gotten in my life and punishments and everything else. I think I turned out to be a pretty good person. I take my responsibilities well. I respect people. You don't respect me, I can't come back at you. I don't like to. I don't raise a hand to people. Just putting some oil in a bowl, ceramic bowl. I should say a glazed ceramic bowl. All right, come together because I want to turn it around. $75. My mother used to turn it as low as she could get in the air conditioner. I don't have enough oil. I need a little more oil. My mother. Now, this is history. If you don't think the earth is heating up, we used to have stoves that used to hit 100, 105, 100. Those were low temperatures that they would sit there and they could dehydrate fruit and vegetables, you know. Now we're going to cover this up and let this rise. They said it's going to take about 2 hours. I said, good, that'll give you plenty of time to get the muffins going. I'm taking care of that part. The Bible speaks that we would have temperatures like that. We're getting there. The Bible talks about the Euphrates River drying up. It's drying up. Now they said that there's angels. Well, I have read. I'm talking about things that I'm learning and have learned, and if you like it or not. And they sit there and say they turn into demons and deformities. And at Skin Rancher, they're seeing these things. They're registering. So, the Euphrates River has cages under there. And yet the Bible says that the angels are trapped down there. And you know, and when the Euphrates River dries up, these prisons, if you want to say cages, I'm going to call them cages, they'll be freed. And I said, they're finding these things here, and they're hearing weird sounds, but they don't know what's there that's making them. Stick it, you're frying, hot, wangy. Set your oven at 350. Finish baking them in the oven. Okay? 15 minutes. If they're not done all the way, all what you have to do is stick it in the oven, let them finish baking. You fry them, but the blood is coming from the bones and stuff, and that's where you have to bake them to get that out. Okay? How long? Just check them. That's all. Yeah, it is. And they've got infrared of these creatures and stuff that they don't know what they're seeing. They have no name for it. And they're demons. I'm taking a look and I'm watching as much as I can of that. And I said, that's demons. And remember, demons know how to manifest themselves from the spirit into the physical world. You know, and they say sweet things to get you to invite them in. I mean, they can't come in unless you invite them in. And you think about how many people, now I'm going to say it, don't take it personal, but how many people do you know that say this phrase, God damn it? Think about what they're saying. Now, what I think is really funny is every time you speak, you inhale to speak, you're pronouncing God's name. That was the one that really got me, you know. And I said, wait a minute. What do you mean? So you breathe in, you go, always. And I said, I'll be dang. That's nifty. You know, this is where my mind goes. That's nifty, God. Through our breath of life. And I told you when I died, the one thing was, when I took a breath, it was, I can't describe it. It's such a joy. Yeah, it's unbelievable. You have to die to experience it. Most people don't remember. So you can imagine a baby when they take their first breath coming in before they cry. They're crying out God's word, his name, you know. So every time you take a breath or something, it's very, I can't describe it. I can't find the words to describe that. Okay, now I got to get things for the muffins. We need salt. Hold on, here we go again. We need baking powder. Okay, we need wheat germ. We need unsalted peanuts. Because I'm adding salt, I want unsalted peanuts. Yeah. We are in. Cinnamon, do we need anything else from here? Just give me a minute. I have to think to remember. Okay. We need flour. We need sugar. We need dark brown sugar. Forgot that. Well, light brown sugar. I have to make dark brown, so I interchange these. What else do I need? I need 2 eggs. For a minute, I thought I was going to break my culture bottle, and I would have been crying. We need almond milk. You didn't tell me you put that there. Almond milk, eggs, oil. Okay, let's see, which oil do I want to put on? Okay, we'll use this one. I have to get more soft flour. All right, I'm almost done. I have to get a few things together. Since I'm using peanuts, why can't I use peanut oil? Put this one up. I don't want this one. Okay. See if I got everything. Wheat bran. Oh, I need this for the pasta. Oh, yeah. Here's I have wheat bran. That's a new package. That's a new package. I need that for the. No, this is rice. Where did I put it? Don't need that one. Okay. I gotta have a really again. I shouldn't run out of that. I just want a package of it. I knew I had it somewhere. I can't always find everything in my kitchen. Oh, this one I put up. This one I don't need. All right, we need measuring spoons and cups again. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Yeah, as you can see, I get very busy in this kitchen. All right, we have to grease the muffin tin. Sharpen, Sandra, you need your lard. Hi, Maria. Hi, Patty. And thank you for the floating heart. So, yeah. Listen, I was surprised when I heard that. And so I decided, well, I'm going to see if it's true. You know, for every breath we're actually, and I could see that. A father wants his children to obey him. Ask any human father. And he also wants the children to respect their mother. Yeah, we'll just talk about this. While I'm cooking, I'll give you the recipe at the same time. And if a child in a family, when you have a mother and a father, and a child disrespects his mother, what does he do? Does he sit there and go there, pacifier, or does he come in and lay down the law? Any good man will come and lay down the law, right? Put the child in their place. Well, we're on Mother Earth, and if we're abusing her and destroying her, what do you think Father's going to do? You're going to bust our tails is what it's going to do. You better think about that. So we're cruising for a big bruising, as they say. And when it comes down, if you don't allow men to be men, you're going to be crying. If you're little, you're going to cry for your father to protect you from the punishment that's coming down. The wife is going to look to the man. There's not going to be a man to defend her. Please do something. Defend us. He's got to answer the father. He's not going to be happy. You can already tell he's not happy. So, think about it. And you know why he's really going to be angry with man? Because he'll tell you point blank, you did not protect and care for your woman. You wanted her, and you let her take over. And you could see the mess that we have. So that's why a man will get the worst punishment. And when he gets it, you have nobody to defend you or your children. So you think about that. Cups we need? Okay. Let's see. All right, let's see what measuring cups I need. We're going to need a half, and we're going to need a third, and we're going to need the fourth cup, and we're going to need, we got this. We're all right. We got what we need. Now, if it was a 100-degree day, you would not see me making these. All right, we're going to set the oven. Did you notice I said set the oven? 400 degrees, please. See, I can't talk from a man's point of view, but I can talk from a woman's point of view and how she has messed things up. Well, she thinks everything's fine and hunky-dory. We need 1.5. All right, I will do 1.5. All right, 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. I got the almond milk going in, and you did make almond milk. Okay, so I guess we could get away with this time. Because you know I usually add other stuff. Wheat flour and wheat germ. This time I'm not. Okay, and we want 1/3 of a cup of wheat bran. So when I talk about a woman, what she's not doing and stuff, I can talk because I am a female. Okay, 1/3 cup wheat bran. Okay, 1/4 of a cup of sugar, regular sugar. I have a mess to clean up on the other side of the counter. You can't see it, but believe me, it's there. We need 1/4 of a cup of light brown sugar for these. When you use light and dark brown sugars, you're actually adding molasses, which is iron, to your meal. You got it, Sarah. This is why fathers will make strong men. That's why you need the man in the house. I was talking with a guy, very nice. I gave this guy a hug. He was just so upset with everything that's been going on in his life. And his wife is running around on him. She complains and nags from the time he gets home till he goes to work. And he says, I work 16 hours a day just to keep away from her mouth. How am I going to get this out? 3 tablespoons of wheat germ, be it raw or toasted. She nags. She's never happy with anything he does. And what's worse is he says, I know she's running around on me. He says she has nagged so much that I'm only staying because of the children. She's not happy with all that he's doing for her. She wanted to go to school. He put her in school. You know, she wanted to better her education. And what does she do? She nags. And she nags. And she nags. And she nags. She wants this. She wants that. She wants a better home. She wants to be catching up with the, it's a southern phrase. I don't know if they use it up here. Keep up with the Joneses. And she's never happy with anything. I never asked my husband. He knew I wanted a home. But I never said anything. But he knew. So whatever apartment he put me in, I would make it a home. And he would see me dreaming. But I never asked for a home. I wanted it very badly to have my own home. But I never asked him. And he got it. He would come home with things for me. I never had to ask. He always thought of me as the love of his life. And I did everything I could to make his life as comfortable. And he was sick. Everything I could to make it comfortable for him. Oh, I am sorry. I put in 3 tablespoons of wheat germ. I put in 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. And I put 2 teaspoons of baking powder. If you use baking powder from the store, you also are going to have to add a teaspoon of baking soda. I'm putting in a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I am so sorry. I'm talking to you. I forgot to tell you what I'm doing. Oh, God. Sandra, you forgot the banana. Okay, well, we'll get to it in a minute. Just give me a minute. All right. You'll have all the dry ingredients? Yes. Okay. I'm going to mix all this with my time. Hi, Pamela. Oh, Sarah, I have to be honest with you. My husband was the perfect man. Well, I should say that, well, I'm going to say perfect man with all of his faults. We just went together so nicely. You know, I'm sure I'm not the easiest person to live with. I have trouble with myself, so I know that. I can say that. But he was wonderful. I miss him. I was crying yesterday. My girlfriend asked me, and I told her a story, and I just started crying. I said, I'm so sorry. She said, no, it's a beautiful love story. She said, Sandy, why don't you write a book? I said, no. She said, all that you've been through, that is a story people would want to hear. The betrayal of a mother. And I said, the hurt's too great there. The hurt is too great there. How much am I going to add? All right. If you can find unsalted peanuts, I spent 10 minutes looking for these. I couldn't. I asked the guy, do you work here? He said, yes. I need unsalted peanuts. He found them right away. I said, how did he do it? I couldn't see it. I said, and I'm wearing glasses, you know. So we want about 2/3. Yeah, why not? We'll go ahead and put it in. I know I should chop these up, shouldn't I? But I'm not. I'm just going to coat them. Put them in there. But I said I didn't want to, the betrayal and all. I said, I'd cry through the whole book. And she said, people need to hear that things like this go on. I said, that I'm going to have to think about what I want to do and put that out there as a book. Because it's heart-wrenching. But God protected me through it, and I got through it. But it really hurt. And I told her what my mother did allowed to be happening to my little brother. I told my older brother when he was talking, and he said, I don't give a... And I said, okay, you know, if you want to understand somebody, sometimes you have to listen to some stuff you don't want to hear, you know? All right, you want 1/3 of a cup of peanut oil. We're going to put almond milk in this. Now, I made this almond milk. I don't know if you caught it. You should be able to find it. It's much easier than buying it because I was reading the ingredients. Now, I didn't put any flavor in mine. I just left it almonds and water because I didn't want... Oh, almond extract. I got to get almond extract. All right. How much did you want? 1/2 cup. With the cinnamon and almond, did it go well together? It should. Okay, this is going to be a little thinner than they want. That's okay. And we need 1/3 of a cup. No. Yeah, 1/3 of a cup of peanut oil. We're just going to carry this peanut flavor straight through. And I want to enhance the almond. So I'm thinking about putting some almond extract in it too. I'll have to go get that. That's in the bathroom underneath the sink. My girlfriend says, where do you keep your olive oil? I said in the refrigerator. She said, I keep mine under the sink. Like all Italians, I said, I'm Italian and I don't. I keep mine in the refrigerator. She said, okay. So let me go get the almond extract. Put almond extract. She even said, Sandy, I'll even help you write the book because I did take writing in school. I didn't go to college, but I said, look, I don't even know if I want to do that. Hope this isn't too thin. Hi, Daryl. Yeah, I spoke with her. She said, Sandy, I really want to know what happened. So I told her. When I was done, she was mad. She got so angry. She said, you have a kind heart, Sandra. I said, no, I have a hurt heart. That's why I never spoke to my parents again. My father let me know he didn't love me, and my mother betrayed a daughter's trust. So I knew he's going to be interested with cinnamon and almond. A little thinner than I like, but we'll see if they rise. They should. Now, you can see I did not mix this all the way. It's very important. Well, my parents are dead. And I can pretty much, I hope that they've learned their lessons or whatever they had to learn in this life. I can hope that they can move forward. I hope my mother learns that she cannot play psych games on people. I hope she learns to respect boundaries, Wrong one. But what's coming through is she is really angry. She can only be angry at herself for the decisions that she made. I didn't do anything to her. I stood by. That's what I did. And she told me one time, I told her when I was little, I woke up from a dream because my mother said I belonged to her, and the angel had told me in a dream, you tell your mother. She's only to have you for a little while. She does not own you. So I told my mother, I'm only here for a little while for you, but you do not own me. I'm a little girl. I don't know what these words mean. I'm just sending a message that came from the other world, from a nap that I had taken. And my mother got angry. So she held on to that. And then this woman she brought into the home after she divorced my father, who had her way, sat there and said, she's more of a daughter to me than you are. I was the most obedient daughter to my mother until she betrayed my trust. And then she did not matter anymore. She tried doing things that she shouldn't have done. She set things up. My mother liked playing psych games. And she played them on my little brother, and she played them on my older brother, still a mama's boy. She really just destroyed my father. To the point my father was, I couldn't even tell the difference between me and her. I mean, it was really something. And she hated me because I looked like my father, and my father hated me because I looked like her. Hey, I did not have anything to do with them having sex. Okay? That's their problem, not mine. I was on the other world, minding my business, and they decided to horse around, and I came out. And my father blamed me for it. He told me I ruined his life being born, and he wished to God I was never born. And then when he got old, he said, I love my daughter. Too late, I don't have any love for you, I told him to drop dead. I told him you owe me an apology for what you said to me. He wouldn't admit it. He said, your mother said that. I said, no, you said it. I said I could describe exactly what you were having on, what was on the television, where you were sitting, and everything else. Don't tell me I don't know, I don't remember. The little girl in me has cried many a day, and sometimes my husband could just hold me because the hurt was so great at the time. Because having children, just some days, I would just think of it, And my sons would see me crying from it. And then there'd be days I would cry and they wouldn't understand why. And I could tell them I see something that's coming. And they didn't know what it was. I wouldn't tell them, but I would tell my husband. We're going to bake those 20 minutes. We'll see how they come out. Ooh, 550. I can't wait. Oh, shoot, Sandra. So I finally told, my friend, my beautician, and she knows. She was so mad, I thought she was going to blow her top. Okay. Now, I have a mess to clean up. Hi, Bizet lady. Bizet, I'm not going to say Bizet. And good morning to all of you. I want to thank all of you that are supporting my channel. And I hope you're learning new recipes and how you can do things, different ways of trying things and not always using the same recipe, but how you can mix things up so you can give your family such a variety. Hi, Patty, and thank you for the hat. Yeah. My younger son, when he found out, he said, Mommy, that is a Victorian story. That is really a Victorian time story. And I said, well, I don't think of it like that. I just think about the hurt, And he said, no, that. He said, that. Yeah, people get stuck on that word, that. Your mother did that. Yeah. To tell you how bad it was, these are two statements that she said to me. She said, Sandy, we're going to switch places. You are going to become your father's wife, and I'm going to go with your boyfriend. I didn't say a word. Another thing that she told me, she sat there and told me, Sandy, I had my tubes tied, so I can't have any children. But I want to have children with my new husband, so would you be a surrogate and have his child and give it to me to raise? I told her no to both. And then she made me lie about my age so she could marry somebody. And that could get me in trouble. Because I was 16 and she needed a second witness. And she wanted me to be the witness. And she said, if you don't, I will fucking kill you. And my mother, when she said stuff like that, she meant it. I just stood there, gave her a cold look, and just gave one nod. The guy questioned me 5 times. Are you sure you're 18? So she was very mean. I might punish my children and be hard on my sons when they were little. But you know what? They didn't have a sick mother. I don't care what they say. So if you mention my name to my brothers, and they mentioned it to my mother, they said she's spitting bullets. She cursed me out from one and the other. I don't care. I walked away from it. And you know who really loved me? My husband's family. I loved every last one of them. They were a barrel of fun, you know. From his great aunties, from Aunt Ty. Oh my gosh, she was such a gem. To Auntie Lottie, to his father, to his mother, who was a tyrant. Oh God, I loved her. Nothing stopped this woman. And his brothers were all a gem. And Gregory, who was mentally and physically disabled, he was such a gem. He really was. Richard, if he and I grew up, I'd be in trouble every day. Wesley, he puts a thumb down on me like my older brother, but in a pinch, he'll come through. And I loved Tony. Oh, God. Oh, you could almost say worship the ground. Hi, Damien. Lynn. My mother was seeing a shrink, too. And my father, she used to punch my father. She punched everybody out. You know, my mother had no stop clocks. But I look at it this way. As abusive as she was, at least I came out a pretty good person. I'm not perfect. I have my faults. I don't think I'm a really bad person, so I hate to admit maybe those whippings really did count. I mean, when my mother went on vacation, she locked herself into an institution. That was her vacation. I tell you. She made sure we went to church. She made sure I was in the choir. She made sure I learned about music. She made sure that I learned to behave like a lady. She made sure that I learned how to cook, sew, crochet, knit. She put a lot of effort into me learning a lot of things, and I took it, and from there I have gone much further than everything. But she did give me my basics. She's dead. That's why I sit there, and I hope that she's learned her lessons in this life, and I hope she can move forward to being a better soul when she comes back. Now, both of my parents are dead now. And my brothers, when you talk to him, all he does is talk about medicine, and how sick he is, and how much arthritis, and how he only gets so much money from Social Security. I said, why didn't you buy a house? And my younger brother just got out of prison, and I'm talking with him, but I understand what happened to him because I was there. With Jane, my older brother, here's another story. I wish her well. I know the karma I have with her is not over with. I have gotten bad news. She's going to be my sister next time we come around. And I can't say I forgive her for what she did. Would I do to her what she did to me? No, I don't want to. I don't want to. I want to definitely, I want to end it with her, but she doesn't want to end it. I wish her well, but if I don't see her again, you know, that's fine with me. I don't wish her harm. I left my parents because I got tired of the hurt. I didn't want to be hurt anymore. And I cry over the hurt. But I didn't want to be hurt anymore. I was tired of it. The mental hurt, the physical hurt. I just got tired of it. But I hope that she's learned her lessons, that she can move forward. I do want that for her. I want the best for her in that aspect. But if I don't see her again, I'm content. Okay? Once judgment, and if I see her in heaven, I will be always respectful to her and all, but we'll be forgiven, so we should be able to move forward on that. But I really just don't want to go through what I went through, nor do I want to do it to her. People say, well, that's not forgiving her. I'm just saying I don't want to be hurt anymore. That's what I tell people. You know, I don't want the hurt anymore. And when I was talking to that man yesterday and what his wife was doing, he just didn't want to be hurt anymore. He said, I just wait till care for my children, then I'm leaving. He said, I'm leaving, I'm not staying. She can't appreciate anything that I do. She's not happy. Do you know what I did not put in those muffins? You didn't tell me. I forgot the banana. Dang. So I made peanut muffins. Dang. You didn't remind me. How could you let me do that? I just saw the bananas. I forgot to get the bananas out. I'll have to do them again. Oh, well. That's life. I'll just keep on going. Oh. Well, anyway, you're supposed to not use the... no, if I use almond milk, where would I put... If I use the... I got to work on that recipe. So if I use the almond milk, should I use almond flour in place of it? I got the almond milk in that, but where do I put the banana? If I was going to put a banana in it. Shoot, I'm going to have to think about how I can get the banana in that thing. So that's how I look at it. It's the hurt I don't want anymore. Well, anyway, we've got almond peanut. Forgot the banana. I can't believe that. I'll have to do it again. Refrigerator. This does not go in the refrigerator. You did not shrink it. That goes there on the floor. Carrot goes in the refrigerator. This, I'm just putting stuff up. Okay. Hi, Clara. GD, good morning. Well, they do smell very good, if nothing else. I don't know if they're gonna work. I'm thinking, how can I get the banana in there? If I put the banana in, that's part of the liquids, but I have the oil and the almond milk in there. See, I gotta think about this before I can do it. Anyway, we made almond peanut muffins. Didn't expect to do that. I was working on something else. Oh, now I'll clean this up. Yeah, I do make a mess. See if I can get some of the flour off some of the tight areas. I learned this from my father because he used to clean the sewing machines. He said if you can't get into it, the brush will get the finer particles. So I took that idea and took it into the kitchen with me. Learning. What's your cardigan? What are you talking about? What rhythm chants? I don't understand what you're saying. I'm sorry. See, a lot of people say a lot of things, but they don't explain some things. People come out with new words, new sayings, but they're just being, or whatever. Oh, well, why don't you ask me my sleep schedule? I go to bed about 6, anywhere from 6 to 7. If the sun is bright, I have to wait a little later. And I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. But this morning, I woke up earlier. I forgot one of my sons was working an all-nighter. And I say he's going to come in. He's going to be tired. But he might also be hungry when he comes in. So I said, I've got to get something going for him. Matter of fact, he should be in, let's see, by 6:30, 7 this morning. He's been gone since yesterday afternoon at noon. Yeah, we have the muffins on and we have a bread going. And later this morning, I'm going to be making spaghetti. It's not shrimp scampi. I'm making spaghetti with shrimps. I have them over here defrosting. I'm going to be cleaning their tails and stuff off. And I'll just make a regular tomato sauce. I mean a regular spaghetti sauce, and I will just put the shrimps in, warm them up, because they're already pre-cooked. They were on sale, so I bought them. And I know it's better with fresh shrimp, but I didn't have the money for it, so I compensated for it. So I'll just heat them up, and we'll be making pasta as well. I'm going to make semolina pasta. I don't think I have enough whole wheat to do that, so we'll probably just have semolina today. The flour for those. way I could probably put mashed bananas with is if I double the recipe and make 24. Because if you need the oil. I cut back on the oil. You see where you get into that plate problem? I mean, the banana blueberries were delicious. I used the blueberries as part of the dry ingredients, but then I used the banana in the liquid. But if I use almond milk, I can't use the banana. Could I freeze the banana and dice it up? Would that work? I don't know if that would work. We could try it and see if it works. I don't know if it's going to work. Okay, we'll check these out. Okay, my bread is ready too. I've got everything coming out at the same time. Okay, I'm just going to be busy this morning. Ouch. Here are the muffins. Almond peanut butter. Well, I should say peanut. Wait, could I use peanut butter? I got to think about this. All right, that's almond and peanuts. All right. We have another problem. All right, see, this is risen. If I let it continue rising, it's going to collapse. So what I do while I get the pans ready is bring it down. That protects it, so it can't drop. It has to re-rise, so it's like taking 3 rises, but it's not because I'll be greasing the pan. All right. 8.5. So this is going to rise in a hurry. You need 2 8.5 by 4.5, I think is the size. Yes. We have to grease these pans. So it looks like this is going to rise very quickly. I don't think there'll be many parts to this. Make sure you get in the corners of your bread pans. If you don't and grease them well, you will find them sticking and you're not going to be able to get the bread out without tearing it. And if you don't believe the bread isn't rising, look how fast I punch it down. It's coming back up. This one will not sit long. I might have to turn the oven on right away. That's when you know you have a good active yeast. What do you want me to do with these? That's so much to do today. Keep adding flour here. I'm gonna have to do something. They want us to knead this a little bit. Then we're going to divide it up into 4 pieces. Glenn Miller. Yeah, Chance, you have to. You want that, you don't want that in there. And for those of you who don't bake and you wonder why I always pull my hair back or I have it clipped up, that is because your hair, you shed like animals, okay? Your hair drops into the food and stuff, so they recommend if you have short hair, you put a net on or tie it back, braid it, pin it up, do something, but don't leave it hanging. I see women doing it all the time. They don't obey the rules. I mean, these rules are not set to disrupt you or to make your life miserable. These are rules that go in the kitchen so your family isn't eating your hair at the dinner table. Or you say and go, ew, and then they go, ew, and pull it out. It's very gross at the table. Okay. Oh, I know why you want it a bit sticky. Is it raining again? Oh my God, it's raining. I know, Chance, but some women, they are going to cook with their long hair flying in the kitchen. You know? My mother made me clip my hair up. She had short hair. She didn't put a net on her head. But she had hairspray. I mean, my mother could go to sleep and her hair would be the same way. It didn't move. She loved going to the beauty parlor. I hated going to the beauty parlor. I really did. I mean, she was always doing something with my hair. She put a perm in it. She cut it wrong. She did a bunch of things. She gave me Shirley Temple curls. I could sleep in those. And then she gave me these wicked rollers to sleep in. If I don't get a good night's sleep, I'm just not, I just don't function well at all. Okay, what they want you to do is to twist this like this. Pinch the ends and then put them in the pan. So it's going to look like this. I'm just going to set the oven temperature for it. It's because it's rising. I can see it getting very, very high. I know most people who make a spaghetti will sit there and want to have Italian bread with it. But I have the pasta is the starch, so I really don't need an added starch to it. You're going to stick. I need some help here. No, maybe you'll stay put while I take care of this one. But when I have one starch, I don't have to have a secondary. And maybe next week I'll show you how to make ranch dressing for those of you that are overseas trying to take American ranch dressing away. I will show you how to make it. So if you can't take it with you, you can make it. Hi, Mr. Noise. Okay, so pinch it here. We're going to twist this bread around. pinch these ends and stick it into the pan. Clean the mess up. Get them brushed up. Where did I? Oh. So now we have these to rise. That way they're rising very, very fast. I doubt they're going to be there very long. And we'll try one of these muffins, which is well, anyway, I didn't get the banana in, but that's the almond milk and peanuts in it. Now all I have to do is figure out how to get the banana in it, or I get everything. I might have to increase on the flour just so we can balance it out. You see what I'm thinking of? Well, I'll figure it out. And I'll get those almond, peanut butter, banana muffins down. See, I have to think about this and everything I'm doing. All right. What temperature do you want to cook these at? And you just want me to brush them and dust them with wheat flour? Okay. 425. That'll take a while to get up there. About 15 minutes. The way the bread's already rising again. So we'll have to get some milk. You're going to need a little bit of milk. And they want you, we're going to be sprinkling them with whole wheat flour. They almost smell like a peanut butter cookie. They do. I'll be dang, I didn't expect that. Okay, they're bland. They're definitely going to need something on. They're too bland. Okay, the peanuts flavor is too strong. Where did I put my knife? Oh. The peanut's so overpowering, it's almost like they're too dry. Okay? I'm going to put butter on them. So I would not use fresh peanuts. Would not add the almond extract, leave the cinnamon only. I think I want to use butter. See how I'm going with this? Good morning, Cornhouse. If we use peanut butter and mashed banana together, when we use the peanut, we use the mashed banana. Maybe you should take the oil out and use the butter. I think the butter might be better for this. I'm not happy with these muffins. Don't worry, I'll work on them. Thank you, Dancing. The butter tastes better. So leave the almond extract out. Maybe I should leave the cinnamon out and use something else. I'll check it out. We use whole bananas. We use banana, we'd have to increase or the moisture content because the peanuts are dry and gives it more of a dry taste. That's why I'm thinking of saying use butter. Have more of a creamier taste than the oil would give you. We'll try that next time. Use butter with banana will make it creamier and the whole milk. But I don't like the cinnamon flavor with it, and I don't like the almond extract in it either. I don't like turkey bacon. Wow. That needs work. I wonder if I could use mace or something like that. Now that's a nice seasoning a lot of people don't use. People are quick to use basic seasonings. Have you ever tried these other ones? I'm gonna start yogurt now. How do you make yogurt? I mean, not yogurt, buttermilk. You need 3.5 cups of milk. you need a half a cup of buttermilk. That's how you make buttermilk. It's real easy. The bread's almost ready to go. Oh, please have a half a cup, Sandra. You heat this milk up, just take the chill off of it, and that's all you need. Put it with your buttermilk in a quart jar and shake it for a good minute. Pop the lid, cover it with towels, and let it sit until it turns into buttermilk. A hot day, watch it. If it's chilly, it'll take overnight. If it's an average day, it's usually 8. You're Jewish or Islam? All sorts of seasonings. So I'm going to remake those muffins. Use peanuts. I'm going to use butter, but I'm going to get another seasoning. Cinnamon and almond were not that good. I don't like it. So I'm going to have to work on it. See, I take you into the kitchen when I make mistakes like this so you can see. It doesn't always come out when we make an attempt at something, but we work at it. I'm thinking about trying mace with it. And you know, mace comes from the shell of the nutmeg. That's why the flavors are so nice. You don't heat the milk up, just take that chill off. So the temperature should be around 70, 80, just where the yogurt likes it. I mean, the buttermilk like it. I'm getting everybody confused now. Oh, okay. Do you take digestive aids for it? Do you take digestive aids for it? It seems your digestive's shot. But again, I'm hoping to clean the bathroom today. I cleaned it and a whole storm blew dirt all over everything. I just looked at it and said, I'm not cleaning. I refuse to. I have been cleaning for a week. I was so mad. So I'm going back to cleaning. It's cool, so I'm going to try to get the bathroom done today. Thank you, Phobos. I try to do something every day, but it doesn't always work. And now that the washing machine is down, again, so they're coming tomorrow. I got a contractor coming today. And I had a contractor come in Sunday, and I asked him how much would it cost to do something. He didn't even want to measure it. He just said, I want $9,000. Oh, like it grows on the tree, you know? Another contractor came, and I asked him, look, what are you going to do for me? I told him the problems that I have and that I need help, and what could you do to help me? He told me exactly what he was going to do. He said, we're going to do this, and we're going to do this. He said, we have to get a license because the city, and I said, okay, in other words, metropolitan area wants more money as usual. So I understood him and what he was saying. But this other guy comes, he doesn't speak English, and he wants me to sit there and just give me $9,000. He didn't tell me how he was going to do it, what he was going to do, or anything else. So I was talking to my girlfriend yesterday, and she said, Sandy, when you work with contractors, you do not give them half of it. She said, because they have more than one job going. And sometimes they take your money to finish up a job because they're not getting enough money on it. I said, well, how do I do this? I said, I don't have friends because I didn't grow up here. I grew up in Texas. In Texas, I would know everybody, so I wouldn't have a problem. I said, we got to stop. I've got to get this thread in. See? 1 inch above the loaf. You see how fast this is growing? hot day, it wouldn't even have time to rise. It just take off as you're working it. You're going to brush it down. With milk. I know these are going to be some big loaves when they come out. They're rising now, and I haven't even gotten to this part yet. Yeah, they're going to be really rising. And then they don't want white flour. They want you to take the wheat flour and sprinkle it on. Anywhere from 45 to 50 after the hour. All right, back to the buttermilk. I have to shake it now for a whole minute. And this is pretty much it. Oh, I like Mexican food. If it's done right. If it's greasy, I don't like it. I used to eat flour tortillas with butter. We used to love having that. Consuelo would make that. We would sit there, my brothers and I, and we would demolish that with a glass of milk. Yeah, we did. And if Mike came, he would eat it. Everybody, you know, whoever was at the house. And she would cook. My mother would allow her to cook, start her dinner at our house. And then when she got home, she could just do the finishing touches on it. Because after she worked with my mother would sit there and go ahead and let them cook there to get their dinners started. Hi, DUC. Drake, hi. I'm reading everybody. Yes, this is something that I don't remember. I remember we used to have storms come in, and I don't remember them ever being so violent. I mean, it ripped a tree up out of the root, and my tree is losing branches, and I said, please don't fall in the house, not when I'm in it. Yeah, there's things you think about, because they're really bending the plants, and I said, we've never had such extreme weather like that. Now those winds, I would think more hurricane. I just don't understand why, but I guess it's because and we only plunged like, 10, 15 degrees. But the thing was, it was just too violent. And I said, Father, Mother's not behaving right. We are in trouble. She is talking. She's getting mad, and we are in trouble. See, I look at Mother Earth as my mother, because she feeds and cares for me. And any woman that has a baby, she feeds and cares for the baby and her children. So Mother Earth cares for us in this aspect. And I said, Father's getting mad, Mother's crying, oh, we are in trouble, and mankind is not listening, you know. So I'm going to sit there and mind my business, be the best young lady I can. Well, I should say old crow, you guys would say old crow, but I say young lady just because I still feel very young in my heart. Though my body's old, I am very young at heart, as they say. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. We're in trouble. As they say, girl, you in trouble? Man, we's in trouble. We better do something. You know, so I'm going to do the best I can. That's very sweet, but I am old. I am showing age. My body is catching up with me. I'm finding, well, let's say I can see my skin is telling me, when I start losing a lot of muscle tone, I will then know that I will not be much longer on this earth, because that's the body getting ready to go. Yes, I do like buttermilk very much. Gioe, Gioli, G-O-L. I'm just going to say Gio. Uh, yeah, I like buttermilk and I like yogurt. I don't like it in the store. They don't have cultures in it. When I sit there and make this buttermilk, I bought one culture about a year and a half ago. And I keep feeding this yogurt. This buttermilk. I keep, carrying it. My yogurt is so strong. If you make buttermilk like this and you make your own yogurt, believe you me, when you have to go to the bathroom, do not waste time. Get in there. Yeah, butter is very easy. I wouldn't do it by hand. I'd get a mixer or a food processor. You pour heavy cream into it and you work it. Just if you have a mixer, you just beat it and 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 beat it. This is just heavy cream, and it will separate, and you'll end up with whey, which is a liquid, and you'll end up with the butter in there. And then what you have to do is rinse the butter under cold water, squeezing it and rinsing it off. And then when you do that, you shape it and you wrap it and you stick it in the freezer and let it take shape, and you have butter. You can add, now I use unsalted, so I don't add salt. But after it separates and you go to mold it into the shape you want, after you rinse it and all, you can sit there and add salt to taste if you wish. It's very easy to make. Oh, you lucky dog. You must know a farmer, or you're on a dairy farm. Yeah, it is. I think I did videos early on how to make butter. I didn't buy any heavy cream. I bought heavy cream and we had ice cream. I made vanilla ice cream. I showed you how easy it was. And the hardest part is knowing the custard, when to take it off the pot and get it in a cool bowl. They state when it coats the back of the spoon. I showed you that just recently, but we'll be making some more ice cream. I just didn't have a lot of money this week, so I was limited on what I could do because I had to order other stuff that we needed. That my sons were telling me, look, we need this, Mommy. I don't have it this week. Do you have? I said, I'll cover it. So I was a little tight on it. And then the washing machine went again. And I had already set an appointment with a contractor to do work. I said, shit, I'm going to be broken in more debt than what I am. This is how things go. Yes, this is grape jelly. What's left of a jar that I just opened the other day. As you can see, my family was having fun with it. I made this last year in October. Yes, I make banana cream pies too. I'm not on a dairy farm to make cream, so I can't. I opened this. I'm just going to set this on like this and cover this with 2 towels. And wait. By tonight, I'll check it. If it's not buttermilk by tonight, I'll just sit there and leave it overnight and check it tomorrow morning. If it's cold where you're at, it can take up to 3 days for it. If you're in a very hot area, check it after 4 hours. Don't leave it too long. I did that one time and it does go bad. So you have to watch it. It's more of a judgment call. Yeah, I knew that bread was going to be tall. All right, we have 20 minutes and that bread will be done. I do not know if you want to stay on or you want to go or what you want. I'm going to take the muffins out. So you can see the house does get busy. Yeah, that's what I love about making my own jams and canning. I've got food that is 3 years old, and it's still good. I open it, the seal isn't broken, I should make chutney. What about chutney muffins? But nobody thought about making chutney muffins. That's all fruit. Wouldn't that be good? Yeah, maybe the next one's while I'm working on this one, I might sit there and try chutney. But these muffins I wouldn't recommend. They need work. But at least you can see how you play around with this stuff and try to figure out how can you make it, you know, taste good. It doesn't always work, but the almond milk didn't give it much flavor. But the almond milk was a little thinner than the other. If I use, still think about how to do that banana. I'm sorry, I'm stuck on how I'm going to get the banana in this thing. I know one thing, I cannot use the peanut butter because I have to put peanuts in it. Because I can't have too much liquid, but I think I'm going to have to increase on the flour to do that. Because I only got 11 muffins, so if I increase on the flour, I might be able to put the banana and peanut butter in. You see where I'm going with the, and then use the almond milk. But I would add peanuts to it as well, so we could have like a nutty crunch. But what seasoning? We'd have to find a new seasoning. Because almond doesn't go with it, and definitely cinnamon did not go with it. But we definitely need butter. I told you I was cooking today. I was not kidding today. I put this in. All right, we'll put one of these. This should hold it. Shrimps. I'm going to put this here. I don't want to do that. I'll use this one. So as you can see, you're spending the day kitchening with me as you come and go. I'm cooking. Once the bread's done and you see it, then I'll sit there and I'll say bye-bye for now. When I have time, I'm going to go ahead and do the shrimp. So I don't have to cook this. I just have to clean it. Taffy. That one's taffy. Yeah, maybe nutmeg, but I was thinking, why not mace, you know? Tails don't want to come off? Okay, I'll pull them off, you know? These are small shrimps. I didn't want a clean shrimp. It was on sale. But I would have to clean the others, and they cost more. And I said, well, I'll just use frozen this time. So when I make the spaghetti sauce, I won't even be adding the shrimp until the very end when it's already done, because I just want to heat them up. So it'll be like only a minute they'll be in on the heat, and that's it. If that, I know these are a little more tough than having fresh ones, but hey, I'm using what I have, what I could afford to make it work. So if you see the Citizen Vigilante, let me know what you think of it. I'd like your opinions. Okay, PN. Okay. Listen, you take care and have a good evening. Yeah, I'm thinking of mace. I don't know why, but mace is stuck in my head. So I said, why not? You know, that becomes my question. If I get all these peeled, I can turn it off. I can take care of the other stuff in the house. I haven't made my bed and stuff yet. And I'll get things done. So I won't have to do this. I'll just be chopping. No, Taffy, no, we are not starting that. I fed you, you have food. You might not like what you have, but you have food. I'm not opening a new can for the fun of it. I knew he was going to do that. He always does. Yeah, I do. I play around with ideas. Some people have ideas, and I take them, I play around with those. I see what I want to do with it. Now, if you have fresh shrimp and you clean them, the shells, you take the shells and boil it for about 10-15 minutes in the water that you plan to cook the shrimp in. Cook the pasta in, and strain it and use that water to cook your pasta in, and then you're just adding more nutrients. Waiting for the bread. God. I'm not going to pick that apart. It doesn't want to come. I'm not going to force it. So this is a whole pound. If you want to know how much this is, it's a whole pound of cooked shrimp. So you don't want to add the shrimp till the very end, like a minute or two before you serve it. You don't want to make it any tougher than what it already is going to be. What are you talking about? Yeah, I agree with you. I am. George, what are you talking about? Talking about shrimps. I don't know that people do. Taffy, no. No, you are not eating the shrimp. No. Gave you shrimp last time, you didn't want it. Wait till it defrosts completely. Yeah, I might think about giving you one, but not now. Don't have a tantrum on that chair. I heard that. Well, my cats are unbelievable. Scallops, 1 minute in a pot. Oh, okay. Well, they cook the tails right off. Some of them have their tails. I pull it the way I was taught to get the tail off. But the tails are not coming. See? When they're raw, it's easy. You can get the tails. When they cook them, sometimes it just doesn't work. Well, that one worked. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay, we just got a few minutes more to go. No, Taffy, you cannot eat shrimp now. Oh, he's going to get nasty now because I didn't give him a shrimp. I'll find a warm one. Okay. Kathy, I said wait. He even likes lobster. And he's a cat. He doesn't dive down to get lobsters. I tell you. You want me to chop it up for you too, Kathy? Don't get underfoot. Let me find a warm one. Okay. Believe it or not, I'm even going to cut it up for him. Now you tell me that makes sense. I saw my girlfriend. She went and baked a yam for her dog yesterday. And I said, she's really pampering him. And look who's talking. Look what I am doing. I cut his I cut his shrimp up for him to have. There you are. Okay, we're going to need, all right, the shrimp is ready for the spaghetti later. Oh, I got that done. Okay, we need another rack. This one. Okay, just waiting for it, and we can get that out. the time today. I've got fennel I have to can. I want to pickle it because it's so good pickled. Oh my God, I love pickled fennel. Yeah, Tacky was living. He's eating now. Did you eat it all? Yeah, he did. You want another one? I'm spoiling my cat. Come on over here. You want this? That's all you're getting. 2 is more than enough for you. That one you can chew up yourself. See how fast he ate it? He loves it. Thank you for telling me he was there, Richie. Thank you, Patty, for the star. We're just actually waiting for the bread, and then we'll be closing this video down, and then I'm going to go do some work, and I will be back to make the spaghetti and the pasta. We'll probably have a salad with it. Probably a simple salad. Go on, you can finish eating it. Now he'll be a good kitty. Now if I didn't give him that, he would tear underneath the chairs, underneath the couch, love seats, under the beds and stuff until he gets what he wants. He's just about torn everything up anyway. There's my cat. We got 2 minutes. 2 minutes and it'll be done. Yeah, it's just something simple I'm making. I'm going to make my regular spaghetti sauce, but I'm putting hot peppers in it to give it spice. And do the pasta up. We'll make the pasta in the pasta machine. Make it quick and easy. It's an electric one right now. I'll do that. It'll either be linguine or spaghetti. Probably spaghetti. Simple. All right, no more. You got 2? I don't want to hear any more out of you, okay? That's it. You're done. No, you have. See, he wants another one. He's not getting it. No, you're done. You're done. You've got your 2 shrimp. Don't be upset. You've got a nice dessert. Now his brother is he will eat a mouse. He'll catch a mouse. He'll eat half of it. But when it comes, he's a gourmet cat. He loves that. Now Angel, my other cat that traveled with me all over the place when I was a teenager and into motherhood, he was a hunter. I mean, he loved Puss in Boots. That was his favorite. I didn't have to buy him gourmet. He ate whatever he had. One time we went out and we came back and there was a loaf of bread on the counter and he was up there with the bread. And my husband hit the roof and said, "Get down, Angel." So Angel got down. And he said, "Bad kitty. You know better." He's scolding him, yelling at him. He said, "Bad kitty." And then he picks up the loaf and a mouse was in it. And then he told Angel, "Angel, come back and take care of this." Angel walked away. "No, you yelled at me. I'm not going to stick around." He got the mouse a week later. But it was hilarious that Tony had scolded him, and then he realized what it was, and then he said, "Go kill it." And my cat just swished his tail, turned, and walked off. And he said, "I'm sorry, Angel." It was too late. Angel was already leaving. He said, "Nope. You told me to get down, I got down." That yeast had a field day. Like I told you, it really came out. Okay. I'll let you see them. I've got to get them out of these pans. This is it. That's both of them. Now, the muffins failed. We have to work on those. The bread came out. I could smell it. It really smells good. And we got the shrimp cleaned, and later we'll have spaghetti and shrimp. Okay, so all of you, take care for now. Stay dry if it's raining where you're at. I mean, it's pouring rain here. And I will see you later. Bye-bye.